Deal.
Gonna start doing them.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Like I know, basically, there's a lot of stuff we can skip because obviously a lot of stuff's been covered. But just so since Christmas, what have you been up to? Give us a brief. What's been going on since Christmas?
Touring and rehearsing pretty much throughout. We've done 2 tours this year, and then we went away for like a month and wrote the album, ready for recording in
a month to write the album.
We had half the album already, and then we kind of wrote 5 songs in a month.
Yeah, we wrote half of it on the road, half of it up at Al's barn,
and then 2 songs we were putting from the EP back onto the album, re-recording it.
Okay. I mean, how have you kept that? People obviously had expectations of what it was going to sound like. How have you kept it so heavy?
By detuning the guitars a lot, playing in B, and
I think Mesa we can thank for that partly. Mesa Boogie amplifiers.
Yeah,
they are amazing. I don't know, man. I just think that
good old valve distortion.
We're big fans of kind of, you know, early Machine Head records and Deftones, you know, major riffage. So it's kind of one of our natural influences, I guess.
So what else is in there in terms of influences and inspiration? I mean, you mentioned Deftones.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's like a cross-reference because, like, we're as much into heavy stuff as we are like Sigur Rós and Album Leaf and stuff. So it's pretty much across the board, I think.
So if all of that's all going into the sound, how do you describe your sound? You know, if you're in a cab and you're like, I'm in a band, and the cab is like, oh yeah, what kind of band are you in?
I don't know. The record is going to be extremely diverse. I mean, there's extremely heavy tracks on there. There's, you know, extremely kind of song-orientated tracks that are just like, you know, two acoustics, 2 vocals, as opposed to just the full band. There's also going to be quite a lot of strings on there.
I think it'll
in parts.
It's difficult.
Diverse record.
Yeah, it's difficult to pigeonhole because you know, you put on track 1 and it might sound completely different to track 2, which I think is cool. You know, I don't necessarily want to make an album that, you know, fits together in one genre. I want to, you know, express all our influences on the record. You know?
There's a lot of people are doing that now. Like, I mean, System of a Down and Velvet Revolver. It's like a classic rock album with like some not ballads on there, but slow ones, fast ones.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that something you were kind of thinking about? Or just something that kind of happened naturally?
I think it's just something that obviously happened naturally because we just wrote the songs and that's how they came out. But you know, I'm well up for diversity, man. I think, you know, the more diverse the record, the more interesting it is to listen to. I
mean, who do you see as your contemporaries? I mean, you've toured with some great bands. What was it again?
Taking Back Sunday.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Yeah. So who do you sort of see? Who do you align yourselves with?
I don't know, man. It's a bit too early to tell because we haven't been around for that long. But you know, that was amazing touring with them. I think we're kind of, you know, that is our kind of scene, if you want. You know, there's a lot of bands like Taking Back Sunday, or even, you know, Biffy Clyro or whatever, that you know, we'd fit playing on a bill with, just because sonically we sound quite, you know, similar. But I mean, I'd be happy with touring, you know, with any band I like. You know what I mean? I'd like to take Mono or Explosion to the Sky on tour, you know, or go on tour with them. I think it doesn't really. I think, you know, bands that when you go and see a concert and the bill, you know, it's 2 bands sounding the same, that's cool. But I think it's also nice to mix it up and get a bit of variety. So I think in future, especially, we might tour with bands that actually sound nothing like that.
Yeah, keep diversity on the road as well.
And what kind of comparisons have the press made already? Obviously, I mean, you guys can say what you sort of think you sound like and inspirations, but the press will always say something different. What have they aligned you with?
I don't know, there's been a few different things, man.
Because obviously, you know, you wouldn't necessarily expect a broadsheet to know Taking Back Sunday are.
No. I think, yeah, I mean, the kind of the rock magazines would say kind of Take My Sunday Biffy or whatever, but I guess it depends on what song they're reviewing, really, because, like, as it said in the few reviews, the EP did sound very different. I mean, we'd have, like, Palnix Laughter, which is our first single, next to Mono, which is completely chilled and goes off into, like, a post-rock tandem. So I think each song is different, and so you can't, you know, pinpoint it, basically.
Okay, and how do you guys feel about your video being banned?
It sucks.
Yeah, we're understandably pissed off about that.
Sucks so much. And
why specifically was it banned?
Well, it was the head of a major media corporation that took a distaste to it, and you know, I just think it's unfortunate that, you know, music can't be this platform for revolution, you know, especially rock music that it used to be. And, you know, we're living in a world where you can't always execute your creativity in the way that the way you want 100% of the time, and there are certain compromises to be made, and that just happened to be one of them. It's unfortunate, but
What's the most
we're going to keep pushing the boundaries next time, don't worry.
I think one of the most annoying things about the situation is the fact we went about trying to make a video that wouldn't get banned. We spoke to lawyers, said we don't want to push it too far in the fact it won't get played. And that's what pissed us off. They turned around. We didn't actually breach any video laws. They just thought it was in distaste. And if you actually watch the video, it is a commentary on what happens in today's culture. Kids.
Yeah. I mean, they banned it for the same reasons we made it, if that kind of encapsulates.
I think that the subject it touches on is quite, an important one, and so it was really annoying. And we had to make another video, which was, we only had 4 days to make it, so it was all a bit of a time struggle. But and the funniest thing about it is now they've decided they'll play it. After we went and did another video, they've now started playing it, which is hilarious.
There you go. That pretty much summarises modern culture for you right there.
But they say obviously there's no, any publicity is good publicity. I mean, you got so much coverage for that. There are people who were covering the story that wouldn't otherwise. So, I mean, did it do you some favours that otherwise it might not have done?
Well, I'm not sure, man. I mean, at the end of the day, if we'd had our way, it would have been played, and that would have been our video, and that would have been a good situation. But the fact people wrote about it, I guess I'd rather people knew, why it was banned, and rather than it just no one hearing about it, because I think that we want people to see that video.
Okay. So, what was the importance of doing the the satellite, doing smaller gigs all around the country and really working hard and doing support slots? I mean, obviously there's no doubt an option that you could have just sacked it and done the Astoria straight off.
I think that would have been completely the worst possible thing we ever could have done, because it's unrealistic.
Yeah.
Fightstar are a band that
we're a new band,
came out 6 months ago, and we wanted to build our community the same way any other band had done it. And it's the fact that we did go into smaller gigs and played right in front of people means that when we did get to play the Electric Ballroom on Tuesday, we had Fightstar fans in there, and they were there because they like Fightstar. We wanted all along. So.
Okay. Also, I know No's not here, but the drumming, that's what I noticed on Tuesday. There's loads of rhythm change, loads of time changes. Is that something that's conscious when you're writing, or is it just something that?
Omar's very good at. When I'll say like this is how it's going to go, kind of play it to him and kind of say what kind of drum beat I'm thinking. He's very good at taking it and making it strange and putting this weird twist on it. He's into very different styles of drumming, across the board, from world music drumming to, metal drumming. So I think, we're very fortunate to be able to have a drummer that, for instance, on the new single, the rhythm is quite straightforward, but he kind of twists it around, and I really like that about his drumming.
Okay. And I'll do this. Thanks. Tell us a bit about what you're up to with Project Mayhem at the moment.
Yeah, but Project Mayhem.
Project Mayhem's kind of expanded out of being Project Mayhem, and we're not really at liberty to talk about the next stage yet.
It's kind of a secret mission.
But it has served its purpose.
Yeah. Project Mayhem, so I don't think anyone will ever quite know what went on.
No, I think we'll leave it at that.
Is it activity based, or is it sort of words based? Propaganda based?
Both. Bit of both, I guess.
Bit of both, okay.
Yeah.
But it was a necessary tool.
It was funny.
A necessary tool to...
I'll just leave it at that.
You guys covered Hurt live.
Oh mate, that is probably my favourite song of all time.
Definitely.
Good choice, good best tune.
I mean, there's a few others that are up there. Probably, mate. It's definitely my top 5. I mean, when I heard the Johnny Cash version of that song, I was literally blown away.
Are you a big Nine Inch Nails fan, or is it?
Nine Inch Nails, I think, are brilliant, and obviously Trent Reznor wrote that song, an absolute legend. But something about the Johnny Cash version just hit me. I was like, that's absolutely phenomenal. And so,
how did it go down live? And it
was actually really good. People saying, "I can't believe you're covering Her." That's a really risky song to cover because it's such a legendary tune, and it actually went down really well. People said, why are you playing it? And it's purely because I enjoy playing it so much. I just enjoy playing that song.
You didn't think it was too obscure?
No, I don't think so, man. It is a risky song to play because it's so legendary and it has a lot of background behind it. It has a lot of.
He's supposed to be the quality checker.
Hang on, yeah. I hadn't thought of this.
So, I mean, it has a lot of
The quality
background behind it, but I mean, I just thought, I love the song, I enjoyed playing it, and I don't think we're going to play it again, but for those shows we did do it, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was kind of in tribute to a friend that passed away as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, amazing song.
Also, you've said, and it's understandable, you're constantly feel like you're having to prove yourself more than other new bands do. What's the effect of that like on your performances and your mindset?
Just you treat every show as it's. At the end of the day, we do anyway. But it's just the fact that we go out with the mindset of if we're not doing our own gig, we need to show people what we can do. It's like a showcase every night if you want. If we're not doing our own shows, it's not like that because obviously people come to see us. But if we're playing festivals or whatever, then there is a certain sense of people are going to come with preconceptions, and we've got to show them what we can do. So it's healthy in a way because we push ourselves every time we perform, which is a good thing.
Just put blood, sweat and tears into everyone, basically.
Yeah.
That's what it really means.
Literally, I mean, our fingers bleed.
And obviously we talked a bit about inspirations and stuff that you're into, but is there any music that fans and people who know the music would be surprised that you're into?
Rufus Wainwright.
Yeah. Vicious World, man.
Vicious World.
It's a hell of a track.
It's nothing like our music at all. When we heard it, it's just like, that's awesome. Amazing voice, amazing songwriter.
We pretty much lost a day of album writing to that track.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we'd ever do a track that sounded like Rufus Wainwright, but amazing songwriter. You can't, when you listen to someone's talent, it's just pouring out the speakers, you're like, that's amazing. So, yeah, he's a very talented guy.
Also, you guys, more than a lot of bands, especially new bands, let's say, get interviewed. What is your least favourite question, and for what reason?
Least favourite question.
I think you should cover that one, dude.
I don't know, man. I guess people asking me, people asking me questions, to try and test me, if you want. And it's like, I don't need this shit, I do what I do. I love playing music, and I don't need to explain to you why I'm doing it. And a lot of time people kind of understand it without needing to ask, because obviously they look at the band. It's pretty obvious, but I guess that's it.
Okay, and how about questions that you always wish you were getting asked, but no one ever seems to ask?
Why did you write that lyric? What's this song about? Rather than what was that jacket you were wearing or whatever. Actually, you know what? We had some Japanese interviews. These guys came over and they just asked us all these really amazing, in-depth questions, and there wasn't one that was kind of culture or kind of bullshit based. It was really refreshing, wasn't it? It's amazing. So props to the Japanese guy.
And it was interesting, man. But I think it tends to be. It depends who. Music, obviously, music press. I'm always gonna rather do music
orientated
press because that's what we're doing. Rather than talking to someone who's talking about lifestyle or culture or something.
On the lyrics, you used to say people don't often ask questions about lyrics. I'm assuming you're kind of chief lyricist, maybe. What feeds all that, you two? What feeds that? Where does it come from? What are you writing about?
Depends, man. Yeah, absolutely depends on the tune and what I'm feeling at the time. I think we have there's two angles of lyric writing for us. One is very emotive based, more describing an emotive feeling rather than talking about a specific situation or subject. And the other one is talking about a specific subject. Track Lost Like Tears and Rain is written about
Neon Genesis Evangelion,
which is a Japanese
animated series.
And it kind of talks about the end of the world and the new revolution of people left over from the world being destroyed. which I find a very, interesting concept. The fact that if the whole world is under attack and there's few people left over, how they start a new world. And then obviously Palahniuk's Laughter is a tribute to Chuck Palahniuk, who wrote Fight Club, famous author. Down's a big fan of. So it depends, man. It's across the board, man. It really does depend on the song. And
film was obviously a huge influence on us as well. We watch about 4 movies a day on tour. So,
One of the big Fight Club.
We just
plenty of Fight Club.
I got so into watching this first Star Wars trilogy again this tour. And especially after watching the last 3, it's so much. It's like even more rewarding.
We're trying to get some Wookiee-related lyrics on the album.
Yeah.
Get that in there.
Yeah.
So you guys are a Beer and Fags rock band, or you a Tea and Biscuits rock band?
We're a Cigarettes and John Smith front band.
Yeah, and Jaeger.
Yeah.
Okay. And just to run out, can we get like a little shout just for the site?
Yeah,
a
man.
little indent, like Haigh with Fightstar, you're watching Click Music, is that cool?
Yeah. Ready? Haigh with Fightstar and you're watching Click Music.
That's wicked.